Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our SwiftUI tutorial series, and in this particular tutorial we are going to be taking a look at image and async image in SwiftUI. Now, what is image? Well, image is a way for us to display, images in our app. This view is very versatile in that we can give it, for example, an SF symbol or a local image in our asset catalog. We can also give it a UI image or an NS image. So you could load a UI image or NS image with a network request, and do it that way and all that stuff, and it would work. However, when it comes to loading an image with a network request, you could do it with an image view and it would work fine. You just have to do a lot more work. With an async image, however, that task is a little bit easier. So, what is an async image then? Well, an async image is a kind of image view that allows you to asynchronously load an image from a URL. This is perfect for for if you are loading something through a network request, or you have a specific URL that you need to retrieve an image from without using a network request, right? That you run yourself and all that. So that you need asynchronously loaded. So, the example that I'm going to use for async image today is I have a URL in my content view. This URL leads to what is essentially my own GitHub avatar image. You can, this isn't some private information or anything like that. It's just, it's public on GitHub, and you can get this URL anytime from the GitHub API. It's not a huge deal. And then for the normal image, we're going to load an SF symbol. All right, because I don't have any images in my asset catalog. I want you to figure out how to do that part on your own. I want you to figure out, okay, if I have an image in my asset catalog, how do I load it, right? It's very simple. I will tell you that. It's very simple, but it is good practice for you to read the documentation and look at other resources alongside this to learn. Because learning by doing is my philosophy, and many other people's philosophy too. So let's get started. Let's first take a look at the normal image by loading an SF symbol. We're going to load the camera symbol. So if we go into SF symbols, you can see I have camera pulled up here. And there's all kinds of variants. There's camera fill, there's camera circle, there's all kinds of stuff. The nice thing about SwiftUI is that you can just say, camera, for example, and based on the context of where the image is, where the symbol is being placed, SwiftUI can go in and determine what variant you want for your SF symbol. And that's great. What kind of variant is best based on the human interface guidelines, which I highly recommend you read. But that's beside the point. So let's go in Xcode now, and let's get started. So to create an image, we need capital IMAGE, so image, and so you can see we have all kinds of stuff here. We have image resource, we have a name, we have all kinds of stuff. We can load an image with a CG image, which is a core graphics thing. You can do all kinds of stuff, right? But we're going for system name. System name. And we want camera. All lowercase, no capitals. There we go. So we have image, and then a parameter called system name, which is a string, and we're giving it camera. If we load our app now, so we run it, kind of let it do its thing here. And when it loads, you can see we have this teeny tiny little symbol. That's our camera. However, we can change the size of it. But how exactly do we change the size of our symbol? Well, we could just say .frame, which this modifier will allow us to change the size of our image with, let's say, 100, actually no, 150 by a height of 150 as well. If we save this and we run it, yeah, let it do its thing, you can see nothing really changed. Sure, the image like the image view is resized, but the actual like image itself, the camera, is not. So why is this? Well, it's because there's one modifier that we forgot. Okay? When you're resizing a normal image, not an async image. Async image doesn't have this. If you need to, let's see. I need to, let's see. We want, okay, you know what? Okay. Before our frame, we need a .resizable. There. We need resizable. This modifier allows us to resize the image. So now if we save it and run it, open it in the simulator, now we get our camera symbol much, much larger. Now that pretty much is it for the image, like the normal image. Alright, let's get rid of our normal image. And now, let's go ahead and take a look at async image. Now, async image has a lot of initializers, but the one we're going to take a look at here, or the ones we're going to take a look at, are the one that simply takes a single URL and nothing else. And then another is for taking in a scale, so we can scale the returned image. Now, there are other initializers that allow you to, for example, specify a view that should show up when the image is loading, and when it, assuming it fails, what should be shown if it fails, and stuff like that. I urge you to experiment with those. Read the documentation and stuff like that, figure out how all that works. But we're going for the bare bones basics, so you understand how exactly it works. All right. So to create an async image, we need to say So capital A, SYNC, capital I, MAGE. And then we just have a URL. And we can give it our URL up there. So now it has a URL that I can load the image from. If we save this and we run our code, yes, I would like to replace it. Xcode, come on now. Yes, Xcode, come on. Do what I tell you. There we go. And there it is. There's our image that we wanted to load. You can see, if you're familiar with iOS stuff, that is my Memoji. That I have that as my GitHub image because why not? And that's great and all. But what if we want to scale it down, because that's pretty big? All right. Well, we can go ahead and give it a scale. And this scale is a CG float, so it's a core graphics float. Let's go ahead and have this be, let's say, 4. All right. So let's go back into Simulator. This is the size of it right now. Okay? Keep that in mind. Let's run it now. Run it again. And now it's a quarter of the size. So remember, when you have a non-whole number like 0.5 or something like that, something that's less than 1, you're making it bigger. If you have something larger than 1, you're making it smaller. And if you go into the negative numbers, it just won't show up at all. And if you have it at 1, the scale at 1, then the scale just doesn't change, right? But that is the bare bones basics, right, of the async image. If we go ahead and let's just take a look at some of the other initializers in our autocomplete. So async image. All right. So here we are in our autocomplete. We can see that we have one for just a URL. We have one for the URL and the scale. We have one that takes in some conditional content. All right, so we have all kinds of initializers here. All right, so really, that pretty much does it for image and async image. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.